Sero said Serio, with the sun in its splendor. And we are going forward in the light of God, asking the question, Lord, who am I? And why am I the way I am? Well, I guess we have to start with at the beginning. I was no more than a year old, a toddler, going outside in my grandparents' backyard to sit in the grass, just like I'm doing now. Noticing the grass following the pathway of the sun to receive the heat and light of the sun, and that's how it grows. I could feel the energy coming from the grass, from the trees. You can feel it blowing through the air. And I'm reminded, the wind bloweth where it listeth. You can hear the sound, but you don't know where it comes or where it goes. And such is everyone that is born of the Spirit. And I know that this is the energy that for every living thing on the planet. I start talking to you like an invisible friend, a guardian. It wasn't until the 5th grade before I even heard of Christianity. A neighbor had just moved in. His family took me to church. I had mixed feelings. The rise, the beat down, in order to take your money. I walked home the next day. I saw it above the tree line, these pillars of light coming from the sky. And sapping energy from the earth. I was made known at that moment that these are the world religions, and Christianity was at its head. I was asked, where is God? Well, God, you're everywhere. Then why would you go to an outside source to experience me? One word, a whisper. Imposters. I still continue to go to church, just to have a new friend. I remember the power team. Things changed at 16. I got into an accident. I couldn't breathe. Reaching up for air, and then the next thing I know is I'm surrounded by light. And I could feel this energy coming from it to me and through me. And I look down and nothing's there. I can feel it. And I can see it. Love is such a small word for something so grand. And I know that you are God. The next thing I know is my friend's on top of me crying, trying to wake me up. I look down and my first thought, I look like a smurf. I'm so bluish. I couldn't move. I was rushed to the hospital and I had a fractured sternum. And this is where I tell the doctor what happened. Well, son, that's your body trying to ease you into the suffering of death. I know what I saw. I tell my friends, they don't believe me. The worst thing about it all is all I can think is, how do I get back? Because I can't be here anymore. I was sent to counseling. Hey, third one's a charm, right? It's pastor, counselor. Says, well, that couldn't have happened. Moses asked God, show me your glory. God said, no man shall see my face and live. And he shrouded himself. And look what happened to Moses. And he almost died. I look at him. I did die. Well, if that were the case and that were true, then where does your faith lie? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And at that moment, you've seen the miracle, and you're now bound by the law. In that moment, I knew he's condemning me. I get up and I walk out. He that is above all, and he that is earthly speaketh of the earth, and he that is from heaven is above all. And what he has seen and heard, that he testifieth, and no man receiveth his testimony. He that hath received his testimony has set to his seal that God is true. The mystery of God should be finished. Jacob said, I have seen God's face, and I will call this place Peniel. The ecclesiastic carries all sorts of lofty concepts in his hand. My faith, closing one's eyes upon oneself once for all to avoid suffering the sight of incurable falsehood. People erect a concept of morality, of virtue, of holiness. Upon this false view of all things, they ground good conscience upon faulty vision, and they argue that no other sort of vision has value anymore once they have made theirs sacrosanct with the names of God, salvation, and an eternity. I unearth this theological instinct in all directions. It is the most widespread and most subterranean form of falsehood to be found on earth. And upon this theological instinct, I make war. Jedart stave.